We all expected a victory there today. And we saw something today that we haven't seen much of this year. The Raptors absolutely dominate the New York Knicks and crush them 128-92. Now, we saw it a little bit earlier in the year, but a lot lately, it's been a lot of close games, right? A lot of games where, you know, Kawhi and Lowry got to play in the dying 5-10 minutes of the game. And you don't really want that. The good news about this game, the Raptors win all 4 quarters, and they're up by so much in the fourth quarter, so guys like Danny Green, Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, even though he got injured in the third, we'll get to that in a second, and Fred VanVleet and guys like that, they can take a seat there in the fourth quarter and let the bench just have at it. And even when the bench was out there the entire fourth quarter, they still won the fourth quarter 27-23. Quickly run through the quarters here. 38-29 Raptors after 1 quarter of play. Then 35-25 in the second quarter, and the Raptors, I think, is 73 points at the half, the most this year. And I don't care if it's against the New York Knicks, guys, and everyone's like, well, you're playing against the stupid, terrible New York Knicks, so you should get this. I agree. But what if the Raptors had a terrible time, at times, this year doing? Knocking down their wide-open shots? You got plenty of them today, and they did a great job of knocking them down. Third quarter, you win that quarter by 13, 28-15. And like I said, you win the fourth quarter 27-23, leading to the 128-92 win. But as I said earlier, third quarter, Lowry gets tangled up with Mitchell Robinson, I think it is. Lowry gets his leg caught, his ankle caught, and Robinson's a big dude, falls down, and I'm scared. I truly am. Now, a lot of people say, well, his ankle didn't, bend, really, really badly. Lowry just came back from a 2-game absence because of an ankle injury. He just had a massive guy fall on his leg. He was grabbing his ankle and rolling around in pain. Did he limp off the floor under his own power? He limped off of the floor, but I think he had some help, too. Now, he doesn't return in the game. I mean, why would he? You're up by 25 in the third quarter. You don't need him to come back. And I think all us Raptor fans, look, is Kyle Lowry worth the whatever the heck he makes, $25 million or whatever it is? Is he worth that? But does he do a ton to help this team win and impact this team in a positive way? You're damn right he does. The Raptors did not have him yesterday against Detroit. You lost. I'm not saying if he played you would have won, but I mean, you didn't have Kyle Lowry in the last 2 games, sorry. You know, and you lost the last game against Detroit. You saw it today. I mean, he was dynamite. He had what did he have before he left the game? 15 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. 1 assist away from a double-double. 5 of 12 shooting, 5 of 9 from 3. He gets you a steal. He was a plus 33 on the floor. He was awesome. But then he goes down with an injury, and all us Raptor fans now, until we hear anything, are just sitting here like this. Please, nothing serious. Please, nothing serious. Please, nothing serious. If he has to sit out both Oklahoma City games to be ready for the playoffs, I don't care. I want him at home or on the bench, not playing. But if he's good to go and it was just a little tweak and he's good to go, which I don't see that being the case, great. But it scares me. I think it scares a lot of Raptor fans seeing Kyle Lowry go down like that, especially how much pain he looked like he was in at that moment. Now, we got to try and take positives out of this game. Other than that thing, because that's the one thing looming over our heads. Yes, you crushed the Knicks, as you should. But you just lost your starting point guard. We don't know how serious it is. This win against the Knicks really doesn't mean anything. And what it does mean is the Raptors are now 4 straight years of 50-plus victories. The Raptors are 50-21. That's great to see. And you get back into the win column after that tough loss against Detroit yesterday. 8 guys in double figures for the Toronto Raptors today. Pascal Siakam with 19 on 9 of 14 shooting. Great to see him shoot a good percentage today. After the last 2 games, really didn't play that well. Great to see him out there today doing his thing. 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Great job there. Danny Green, what we've gotten used to seeing from Danny Green is that he doesn't shoot a whole lot, but for the most part, when he does, he's money. I don't know if you guys heard that paper fell. It scared me. It really got me. He gets 13 points in 22 minutes, 4 rebounds on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 4 from 3. Thank you very much, Danny Green. All in a day's work for him. And Marc Gasol only played 22 minutes. 12 points, 11 rebounds, gives you a double-double. Gives you an assist as well, 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 2 from the line, knocks down a couple threes, and he gives you a block and a plus 23. Attaboy Marc Gasol. He's done a great job filling in for Serge Ibaka. I've really liked what we've seen from Marc Gasol since Serge Ibaka's suspension. And Lowry, we already talked about him. Fred VanVleet, this guy's been absolute money since he came back in the Detroit game yesterday. He had 17 yesterday, and today he had 13 points on 5 of 9 shooting. He was 2 of 4 from 3. He also threw up 11 assists, the double-double for Fred VanVleet. He gives you 2 steals and a block and a plus 33 as well as Kyle Lowry in the game today. Freddie's been money in these 2 games. I am loving it, and what he is going to bring for that second unit, beautiful. Beautiful. And then off the bench, and we've gotten so used to this bench really not performing all that well and having to rely on the starters so much that we don't really know what's going to happen. But today, Jeremy Lin, quite a few of those might have been in the dying minutes where it didn't really matter, but Jeremy Lin in 27 minutes fired up 20 points, 3 rebounds, and a couple assists on 7 of 11 shooting, 5 of 7 from the line, 1 of 3 from 3, and he was a plus 3 on the floor. Okay, Jeremy Lin. I like what I see there. And Norman Powell gives you 10 off the bench in 18 minutes, 4 of 8 shooting, 2 of 3 from the line, gives you a steal, gives you a block. Attaboy Norman Powell. And OG Anunoby, and I gotta say, guys, OG has looked amazing lately. And it's not just because he had 14 points and 6 of 12 shooting today. His defense. He looks like he's fighting, like he was last year. Last year, OG Anunoby was so good because he was grindy on defense. That's why they put him on LeBron in the playoffs last year. Ideally, it really didn't work out too well, but he was LeBron James, so you can't really fault OG. But he has looked so active. He's playing so hard, and I've loved what we've seen from OG Anunoby since the All-Star break, really. I mean, he's been a really, really respectable player, and I love what we're seeing. And can we give Malcolm Miller some more minutes there, people? This guy seems like he'd be a trigger man from 3. He plays 8 minutes. He gets you 6 points. He fires 2 of 3 from 3. And we've seen that over a little while he's been like that. Love what we've seen from Malcolm Miller. The Raptors just shoot a ridiculously good game all game long. 56% from the field. 44% from 3, and 17 threes made by the Raptors. Not a great free throw night. Yeah, rebound them by 14. You only give up 7 offensive boards. Raptors get 36 assists, which is a stupid number. And 5 steals to their 8, 7 blocks to their 4, 14 turnovers. So again, another number you want to get down there. And you played not a great team in New York, and you still turn the ball over 14 times. Not so great. Points in the paint, 58-32 Raptors. Now, ideally against Detroit, it was basically the flip the switch. You were the team that was getting torn apart on the inside. Ideally, they have Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin. The Knicks do not have that. But it's great to see the Raptors dominate inside the paint today. And look, the Raptors just dominated all game long. The biggest lead for the New York Knicks was 1, and it was really early in the game. The Raptors dominated, as they should, but all our focus now is on Kyle Lowry. If anybody's looking towards OKC, yeah, you can do that. But Kyle Lowry is at least where my focus is. Because that didn't look good, and his reaction didn't look good. And ladies and gentlemen, we're 3 weeks away from the playoffs? You don't want something like that happening now. Especially to a guy like Kyle Lowry. But, nothing we can do now. What's done is done. You get the victory. Enjoy it. Enjoy the whomping that we saw. And we haven't seen a lot of that lately. It was kind of nice just sitting back, relaxing, and watching guys drain threes. Go, hey! Yeah, Malcolm Miller from 3. And not having to worry about anything. Watching them drain a 3 and not think, oh my God, no. Just sitting there in a Hazonia for a 3. It was nice sitting there not worrying about a game for once. Now, the next 2 are not going to be like that, though. The next game for the Toronto Raptors, guys, is Wednesday night in Oklahoma City, taking on the Thunder. It is going to be a 9:30 tip-off there in OKC. And then on Friday, OKC comes to Toronto, 7:30 tip-off there. So we had a home-and-home against OKC, and the reason why I want Kyle Lowry is because we're flipping playing Russell Westbrook, and I want our best guys on him as possible. And oh yeah, They have a guy named Paul George as well. That team is good. I don't think they've been playing very well lately. I think they've lost 2 straight. They're 4-6 in the last 10. I don't care. That team is good. Russell Westbrook is a freak. Paul George is putting up one of his best seasons of his career, if not his best year of his career. You got to find a way to contain those guys. It's not going to be easy, especially on the road. And if you don't have Kyle Lowry, it's going to make it that much harder. It's going to be a tough one there on Wednesday night, but it's going to show how good of a team this Raptor team is if they can find a way to pull that win out. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed the video, and you guys enjoyed the victory today other than the Kyle Lowry scare. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below. What'd you guys think of the game? What'd you think of the video? What are your thoughts on the whole Kyle Lowry situation? Your MVP in today's game. I want to hear your guys' thoughts towards. I can't really give one MVP. All the guys really contributed. I think they had 120-point scorer. Jeremy Lin off the bench. So you guys can give it to who you want as the player of the game. You give it to Kyle Lowry. You give it to Fred VanVleet. I thought that both those guys were incredible. I want to hear your guys' thoughts towards this game, this team, the upcoming home against OKC, the Lowry stuff, everything. Raptors, comments down below, guys. Go crazy. And Evan and I will talk to you guys sometime this week. We haven't really discussed as of yet. Podcast edition. Link is in the description for the podcast channel, guys, and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up. Send me a DM. Do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys. Blue Jays edition. It's going to be Thursday afternoon in the final spring training games. We'll be bringing down the spring training games over the past week for the Toronto Blue Jays. They've won 2 straight games now. Great to see there by the Blue Jays. And we'll be breaking down this week's games for those guys in the final one before the season preview. The following, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that as of yet. And as for the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys, they take on the Nashville Predators in Nashville tomorrow night. Kapanen might be back in the lineup. Frederik Andersen is going to be between the pipes probably. Dermott and Garner still a ways away. Frederik Gauthier is now out a couple games. They need something. They need a win, and they need to hold the Predators to under 3 goals. Because if they can do that and get a win, I'll cry happy tears because I feel like it's a flippin' miracle. And as for the Raptors, guys, like we said, they take on the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday night in OKC. It's a 9:30 tip-off there. And the question will be, will Kyle Lowry suit up? That's the question right now. I mean, we'll probably learn by tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon what his status will be for that OKC game. I don't think he will play in OKC. That's just my feeling towards that. But we're going to have to wait and see how it all plays out. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you guys then.